Hello, my name is Pedro Ruas and I'm here to present the work towards a multilingual corpus for named entity linking evaluation in the clinical domain. The first question is, what is named entity linking? Imagine if you search the word pandemic in Wikipedia, you would obtain several results because the word pandemic is present in several articles titles. For example, pandemic can refer to a disease outbreak, to a novel, to a film, and even to a board game. So how will Wikipedia know what is the exact meaning of pandemic in the context of your search? And this is the central question in named entity linking, because we have words or entities in text and we want to automatically link them to concepts in a knowledge base. In this case, our knowledge base would be Wikipedia. Why is it important? Because nowadays most of the web content is text and computers cannot understand very well text. So first we need to convert text in a more computer-friendly format. For example, in science, most of the results are published in scientific articles, which means text, and human curators need to read these articles and transfer the scientific information to scientific databases. But the problem is, every year millions of articles are published, and so the task of curating this information gets more difficult. And named entity linking systems can aid in this process of curation. It can also improve relation extraction and question answering systems, and as we saw in the example before, can also improve search engines. Why do we need multilingual evaluation resources? The existing datasets are useful for compare the performance of the several named entity linking systems, and this comparison leads to the improvement of these systems. But without evaluation resources for other languages than English, this improvement can't happen. So we decided to build a named entity linking corpus or dataset for evaluation, and we decided to focus on the clinical domain because usually it's a less explored domain comparing, for example, with news text or social media text. The first step was to retrieve the clinical case reports from the Cielo database, and we obtained English, Portuguese and Spanish abstracts of clinical case reports. The next step was to automatically annotate these abstracts. What does that mean, annotate? It means identify the medical diagnostic entities present in text and label them with a knowledge base label. The first step was the named entity recognition. For example, we have here hypotension was identified in an abstract. We applied the MER tool, and here we have the original English sentence. We have the entity mentioned hypotension. The MER tool identifies the begin position and the end position for this medical diagnostic entity. We also have here the Portuguese and the Spanish versions of the same sentence and the respective identified entities. The next step, we had the entities, but we had to link them to a knowledge base, and our knowledge base was ICD-10-CM, which means International Classification of Diseases Clinical Modification. So, taking this example, hypotension was labeled with the code I95. The final result was the multi-null corpus that contains 639 abstracts of clinical case reports for each language, English, Portuguese and Spanish, and this corpus is available in our group GitHub page in this link over here. For future work, we intend to map the ICD-10-CM codes to the respective medical subject headings to expand the evaluation capability of this dataset, and also because this vocabulary also contains a Portuguese and a Spanish versions. So, additionally, we intend to validate the obtained annotations by humans, either by clinical experts or by crowdsourcing. And besides this, These human validators will also have new annotations not identified by this automatic pipeline. It's everything. Thank you all for listening.